So today we're going to be talking about cracking open your Bookshare account. Tomball is using a couple of different resources for our students with disabilities to improve their access to curriculum. These two resources are Bookshare and Learning Ally, and this video is going to show you how to access books through Bookshare. So we're going to escape out of our video and we are going to go to the website bookshare.org. And here we are. So we're going to log in with our student credentials. Now your student has been provided credentials if they are registered on the service, and if they are not, you can contact your reading specialist, your dyslexia specialist, or your specialized support teacher and get them enrolled, provided that they meet the eligibility requirements. So I'm going to go ahead and use my trainer profile to log in so that you can see where to go. Now, when your student logs in, you'll see over to the left their history, which is where they've been before, what books they have read before, their reading list that they have been subscribed to, and their account information. So you can see that my training account is through Tomball ISD, and I'm registered as an 11th grader. So if any of that information is inaccurate on your student, you can let us know and we can update that, because these are organizational memberships. Bookshare does make available individual memberships. So if your student loves to read and maybe wants to do some things outside of their school reading, or wants to be able to download books independently onto their device, they can go and set up an individual account, but you have to submit the qualifying material. And the way that you can find that is in the Help Center. You can find exactly what are the qualifying materials under the who can sign up. So these again are resources for individuals that have disabilities. They're not just a general, like a Kindle or something like that would be. So let's go back to where we were, and I'm going to go to my Bookshare, and I'm going to go to my well, here I'm going to go ahead and look at my books. I've been assigned these 4 books. Now, if I want to read online, I can go to Read Now. And when I bring up Read Now, it's going to open to wherever it was that I was last on this book. So you can see I was on page 3. This is a web reader, so the controls are up here along this top black bar, where you can see that you have the table of contents that you can navigate with, and that's here. You can tell it to go to which page you want it to go to, and you can manage that kind of information that way. You can also turn the page. So this is going to the next chapter, the next chapter. You can, this is the reading icon. So when you're ready for it to read, you just click the play
Page
button
36.
and it will start to
4.
read.
The remainder of my school days were no more auspicious than the first.
So you can see it, it can highlight for you, and you can adjust those settings here in the wagon wheel, where you can see that you can change the font, the type of font, the size of the font, the background, etc. And even for students who have a visual field deficit or have trouble tracking across a page, you can change the margins of the print so that they are more narrow or wider. You can change the speech rate, and you can change the voice. So all that allows some flexibility for the student to identify their preferences. This changes the contrast. This makes it go full screen or off of full screen. And then this is your help file. So that's how you can use this. Now, if the student doesn't like the voice, another thing that you can use on the web reader is the student can turn on their Snap and Read. So Snap and Read is a text-to-speech reader as well. And we can turn that on and have our little sidebar show up over here, and then we can click on the text tool.
The remainder of my school days were no more auspicious than the first.
And you can, again, within the controls of Snap and Read, you can manage the options. And so you have some additional voices and you have some additional tools that can help the student reader. So, for example, if they needed to translate something, say you're a second language learner and you wanted to translate something, you could highlight that text and then click your translate tool, and it will change it to your home language, so that if you were having trouble understanding the meaning, this might support you with that. You can also change the text complexity. So if there's a passage where maybe you were having difficulty with the vocabulary, you could highlight that passage and click on the text complexity tool, and it would see this in italics. It used to say gravely, and now it says very seriously. So those kinds of things can be used in Snap and Read, that it can be paired with this because it is in a browser web page. So there is a possibility for you to combine tools to get even more flexibility with what you want. This tool here will provide a line guide so that the student can manually use a line guide, and in their options in Snap and Read, they can change the color of that. So mine, as you can see, is gray and yellow, but they could change the color of that. So there's a lot of ways that the student can use that in the web reader. Now, on the Bookshare web page, just so that you know, it is possible to use these on other devices. So you can use the service offline, but you do have to get the tools. So if we want to read more for free, in the Getting Started file, you can see how to read books. And if you go here, you can see the reading apps. So if we click on the reading apps, you can choose your device and you can select then the category. And let's say you want to read on your iPhone, you can select that, and it will tell you that you can go and get these different apps and use those on your device to access your books. And then once you have those apps, you will log into your Bookshare account, and they will synchronize, and you won't have to log into both. You just open up your Dolphin Easy Reader or your, whatever app you're using, and you will one time put in your credentials to link it to Bookshare, and then you should be good to go and be able to just click on that app, open it up, and go right to your book. And then you'll have those features that are available with that app available to you on your other devices. So in Bookshare, again, there's basically two ways that you can access: through the web reader or through a variety of apps. Their apps are not proprietary, so they have all different apps, and you do have to link them. But once they're linked, it's very user-friendly to use. I will tell you that we use the Dolphin Easy Reader in school and have found that to have the flexibility that we need for a variety of learners. So that's the one that we like, but you can look at these others and see if they provide you with what your student needs, and use those as well. And remember that the web reader can be paired with your Snap and Read, and it makes a very nice interface for supporting the student. So thank you for your time.